What's good, guys? This is going to be kind of a review and discussion video. First off, I want to say while most YouTubers are getting better in quality, I am apparently downgrading. Uh, Unlike Rack, who went to 4K, I think I'm going back to about 4 megapixels. So, I did just move to Chicago back from my parents' place where I was staying for a few months waiting on bar results, job search, all that. So now that I'm back, I haven't brought everything. I don't have my nicer camera, and I don't have my dad's DSLR or whatever it is at my disposal. So um, you'll intermittently get some high quality videos and some webcam videos until I fork out the money to get myself a really nice camera, which I plan on doing at some point. But this review is in regards to the Reebok Question Pack. And first I'm going to talk about the shoes, my take on them, and then that will lead into a discussion that I plan on doing. Now, first things first, I want to say I was thoroughly disappointed in the quality. And I seem to be in the minority on this one. But a lot of people who got these shoes got promo sample paper. If you watch Nightwing's video or DJ Ski's video, both of them got promo sample paper in the box, which wasn't a big deal to me, but at the same time it's like, alright, come on. So I'll show you. Here is the LeBron, which comes with the green sticker you see here. And this box is fine, but as you see, no promo sample paper or anything like that. But the Kobe box, you can see completely smashed. And this is how it came. And it didn't even have the purple sticker on it. Box basically destroyed. And again, as you see, no promo sample paper. And then when it comes to the actual quality of the shoes, compared to the Georgetowns, these things are awful. And it may just be the pair I got. But I'm going to do a comparison with the Georgetowns. And unfortunately, because I don't have my dad's camera, quality isn't going to be that great, but you'll get the idea. Okay, first thing first about these shoes. They are just an amazing shoe in terms of the concept. But when it comes to the leather and some of the paint issues, I was a little disappointed. I've already scraped off a lot of the random paint that was on them, but there's still like some these are dead stock. You can see white paint there, a stream of white paint there, all on that upper toe box, or it's not the toe box, but the upper sole. And there was a glue glob on the toe that I wiped off. But then you can also see, like on this shoe, the L23J is coming under the rubber right here, whereas on the other question, it's significantly above it. So if you put them side by side, let me back them up. You can see that the L23J on both shoes is not in the same position. But yeah, other than that, the suede was is pretty nice. It's a very nice suede or nubuck or whatever it is. The shoes are pretty much pristine white. all that I really like. You guys already know the little promo sample insole. But one thing that a lot of people haven't touched on, I don't think I've seen a single person touch on this. This actually isn't the exact shoe that LeBron wore in high school. Um, if you look at pictures of the shoe he wore, it's actually a darker green than this. It's like more of a forest green, this is, I would say, is like a pine green. Um, and there is no yellow outline on any aspect of the questions he wore. It's just the forest green on this part, and then forest green here, forest green there, and there's no yellow anywhere on the shoe. So this isn't even the exact shoe that he wore, but it's still a close representation, still a very nice shoe. And then I'll show you a quick take on the Kobe. The Kobe was another very well executed shoe. It's got that pearlized toe cap as opposed to the suede. It's got the 8 on the back. And these came in a lot better quality than the LeBrons, at least the for the most part. One thing that, not a big deal, but still, see that white spot right there? That is a little glob of glue that I was having trouble removing. But overall, compared to the big guys like Nightwing and DJ Ski, I'm not sure if Nightwing got his pair directly from Reebok or not. I'd assume that DJ Ski did. I think that theirs were significantly better quality than the pairs I got. But when I compare these with, for example, like the Georgetowns, it's just a different level. The leather on this is so nice, and the suede, I feel like, is a little bit thicker. So to me, out of all the questions that came out in the past couple of years, this may be the nicest quality. Although I haven't seen the burn rubbers or the the burn rubbers are the Apollos that I'm thinking of. The Detroit Piston ones, that they were one of the first big collabs to come out, and Foamer had a pair of them, and it was about the mythical NBA player. Those looked to be incredible quality, but I never got those in person, so I couldn't tell you. But this kind of leads into my next topic, which is the death of the sneaker fad. Now, this isn't saying that sneaker collecting is dying at all, and especially after the forging irons, I think it's still fairly alive, and the fad thing is still fairly alive. But to me, this pack, this question pack, represents the death of the sneaker fad in the same way that the Concords represented the start of the sneaker fad. Now, the reason I say this is because, at least in my opinion, I'm sure will be hotly debated by most people, but at least in my opinion, this was the best sneaker pack since the DMP pack, the Defining Moments 11 and 6 pack that Jordan came out with. This is, to me, again, you guys can argue and say what you will, but to me, this is the second best pack ever behind that pack. I don't think any of the other Jordan packs come close to this. Now, it may be because I was an Iverson fan growing up, and I really respect LeBron and Kobe in their hierarchy and history, and I like player edition shoes like this, but this was an amazing pack. And not only this, but shortly after the Laneys came out, and those were sitting on shelves. Um, Now, if those were to have released probably a year and a half ago, those would be on the same level as like the Bread 11s, in my opinion, where everybody wanted them. They put them out 2, 3 times, but you're starting to notice, and Zaya X is doing a good job of this, posting these all these restocks that Nike's doing. And now you did not see this in the past. I think Nike really messed this up in their marketing department and overall production thinking, etc. Now I understand this is a smart company, but one thing that I think is a great point and something that everybody needs to know: all great empires fall. Now, I think Nike and Jordan is far from that point. But keep in mind, all great empires do fall. Rome ruled at one point. Where are they now? Keep that in mind. It's the same with us. Like the US, it's been at the top forever. But China and India are starting to inch their way there. And to me, it's kind of how I see Nike. I think that they've gotten a little arrogant in their thinking, and the amount of shoes they've been putting out is like a lot of people say, and I think I was one of the first people to say this, it's like the whole basketball card trend, where you have rare cards, which when they initially came out, they were rare. But when every pack has a rare card that's numbered, and you've got 25 different brands with 200 different sets of different rare cards, then you're changing the definition of rare. So because there are shoes coming out every week in droves, so you've got 5 rare, quote unquote, rare releases coming out every single week. Let's say 500 to 1,000 pairs for each one of these rare sneakers. Then you do this every week for going on 2.5 years now. Those shoes no longer become rare because there are so many rare shoes, if you look at them in that context. But if you look at them in the context of this one shoe, there's only 500 pairs of this shoe, yes, it may be technically a rare shoe. But when you look at it in the grand scheme of rare shoes and take the total number of rare shoes, that shoe is not rare. And I think you're starting to notice that in all this reselling, etc. The only shoe in recent memory that I can think really had a crazy resale price initially was those Forging Iron LeBrons. But I think you're going to start seeing more and more that the resale price of shoes is going to come closer to the retail price. And another thing that is also kind of indicating to me that this whole sneaker fad is dying is the number of big YouTubers that will post for sale Instagram posts or YouTube videos, basically selling 15, 20, 30 pairs from their collection. And to me, like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Like, I understand make a buck, especially at this point. But from my opinion, I've never been the type to do anything quite along those lines. I've always bought a couple pairs per year, and when the pair's really worn down and I'm not going to wear them anymore, then I may consider putting them up on eBay. So for example, when I was in 7th, 8th grade, I had a pair of the Bread 11s, the first retro, and I wore them for 2 years. I outgrew them because my foot was still growing at that point, and I sold them on eBay. And to me, that's basically kind of what I've done with shoes in the past. So if a shoe has become too worn out and I'm not going to wear it anymore, or I've outgrown them, I'll put them for sale. But I'm not the type of person that you're going to see listing 5, 10, 15 different pairs from my collection, especially because my collection isn't even that big to begin with. But if I were to sell anything, it'd be one or two pairs that maybe I've never worn, and shoes that I've worn a ton. And I think this is a trend that I've been noticing more frequently. I'm seeing more YouTubers, more people in general, posting Instagram posts every 2-3 days selling shoes. And that is something you never saw when the height of sneakers at their most popular point, when sneakers were at their most popular point, I should say. But you also see a lot of other YouTubers switching their channels to be less about sneakers. I've seen this from significant amount of people, and in some cases it's definitely understandable. People have interests outside of shoes. People should have interests outside of shoes. That's kind of one of the reasons why my channel has always been about more than sneakers. But I think it's interesting that it's happening to so many YouTubers. It's not just one or two. I've seen at least 7 or 8 YouTubers off the top of my head that have totally changed the way that they do their channels. And I think it's kind of signaling that the fad, as I think it was for the past few years, is dying. And I think you'll start seeing more and more the true collectors coming forward. I could be completely wrong on this. This was just a little discussion I wanted to bring up. I never really think I got into the fad, and I never really think that I was a big-time collector either. I've just been a guy that likes shoes, like how they relate to basketball, that sort of thing. And I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing since I was in 6th grade. And that's getting a couple shoes here and there, and buying what I like, etc. And the only difference now is that when I buy 2 or 3 shoes a year, they're going to a stockpile of about 40 plus shoes that I currently have, 40, 50 shoes, that my foot is no longer growing. And that's the reason why I got 2 or 3 shoes back in the day, would sell them, throw them away, etc., because my foot was continuing to grow. But now that it stopped growing, I can keep amassing this collection and doing what I was doing back then at the same time now. So I'd definitely be interested to hear your guys' take on this. I think this is a kind of a big topic that nobody's really touched on. Would love to hear your take, as well as your take maybe on the question pack. Thanks a lot, guys. This was kind of a long video, but I think it's definitely one that'll be worth it. Take it easy. Peace.